Hi guys, and welcome along to the first course vlog of 2022. As you can see, conditions in January a little bit windy, as you would expect. So we have the obligatory orange windbreaker on. Decent tee shot with the 9-iron, 136 yards that is into the back of the green, just over the top of the flag actually. So second shot here up is with the 56 degree, just a little bit of a loft to try and bump it onto the green there, and follow that up with a putt to make par, and we're off and running here as we chase down 80. Now onto the par 4 second hole, 382 yards, and as you know, if you've been watching my course vlogs of late, driving hasn't been my best weapon in the arsenal, and that was a particularly poor effort. Only 81 yards according to Arccos. So a poor lie. I drags out the 7-iron, which we just pump it up the fairway into the rough on the right hand side, 163 yards. We've now 113 yards left to the middle of the green, and it's a very thin shot there with the 8-iron. Didn't rotate the lower half, you might have noticed. Pick out the gap wedge for this little bump and run into the flag. Playing our 7th shot of the round. It's a fairly decent shot there with the gap wedge. Leaves us a very short putt to finish off here with a bogey. So as you notice, par 3s we're playing off the winter mats at the moment. We've got 160 yards here, or there's about. I've got 7-iron here in hand, but pull it to the left. It was left anyway, going left further. The wind was taking it in that direction, and we end up with a 50-yard pitch from the opposite fairway back onto the green, which, to be fair, it wasn't a bad effort. This one for par then. It's probably about 20 to 25 feet this putt. All downhill. Probably the fastest green on the course as well, because of the way it's battered by the wind, and what a putt that was to make it just 1 over par for the round so far. So onto the par 4 fourth. Got the driver in hand again. Got to trust in it. Decent hit this time. Just down, creeping up on the right hand side of the fairway. We've got about 80 yards in, and decent wind pushing left to right. 56 degree in hand. Punch it in. We do leave it a tad short. Perhaps should have gone with a gap wedge from there. And it is the gap wedge here that we take out the bag for that little bump and run shot again. And that has just trickled on by the hole. It leaves us a very tricky downhill 4th shot to save par. Unfortunately, it drifts wide of the target, back of the putter because it's so close, and in for a bogey. So 2 over going through 4 holes on to the par 3 fifth. Tee shot is dragged a little bit wide. Unfortunately, that finds the greenside bunker. Splash it out. Can't quite reach the distance we need, and it is just left of target as well. So a little chip in here. 56 degree in hand again. Can we land this close? Not a bad effort from there. Can we save ourselves with a bogey from the fringe? Sorry about the camera angle from here, but we had players up behind us, didn't want to keep resetting the camera because of that, and unfortunately we dragged that putt, and it is going to be our first double bogey of the round. still not too bad. We're only 4 over through the first 5 holes as we move on to the hardest hole on the course. As you can tell, it drifts massively right to left with the slope here. So you do have to get up quite high on that slope to prevent you having a difficult shot going in with the second. I've got 4 iron in hand here. Scuttler. I mean, obviously because of the wind you want to run some of them a bit low, but that was too low even by that kind of standard. So we've come up short. Got the 56 degree wedge in hand. Not a bad effort, but it is pulled slightly to the right hand side, and once again we're on the fringe with the gap wedge. Can it come to our aid again? Just wide of the target, but does give us the opportunity here to get the bogey, which we duly pop into the hole. And let's move on to the 7th. 412 yards, in need of a decent drive again, but once more we've got that sort of snap hook pull to the left that suddenly appeared. It's something that I was trying to bring in a bit of a high draw to the game, and I've kind of failed with that, and it's now crept into this sort of hook. 8 iron just to get us out of trouble, 7 iron in from here, and unfortunately that's too much club. Find ourselves on the back of the green, having gone right the way through. It was a good line, it was just too much club. And again, the 56 here probably should have took the gap wedge just to bump and run it rather than try and float it in, and that's given us a tricky putt coming backwards, and fortunately that also misses the target. Round the houses with that putt as well, and it's one of those dreaded 3 putts and a triple bogey. Right, so teeing off on the 8th. Bit of an overcorrection coming up here, and we end up going way right. Onto the 11th fairway, and again, didn't want to take the camera all the way across with me, but I got a 3 iron in hand. We got about at 210, I think it was, to the flag, and absolutely nailed this 3 iron. Bang on line with the pin. 188 yards apparently we got with that club from Arccos's data, and that left us with 50 yards in with the 56 degree. Again, a decent approach shot. Poor putt though, way too much on that, and confidence at this point is a little bit low, and we miss wide again, and another 3 putt going on the card, and it's another double bogey, and the score is starting to rack up a little bit here now. So let's see if we can round out the front 9 with a decent score here. As you can see up in the distance, we have caught up to another group. That did mean that we had to take a little bit of a wait on the tee box here, but a very decent drive gets us away down this shortish par 4. So there we go, 228 yard drive, leaves us with 104 yards in. Unfortunately, we've pulled that gap wedge to the left. I'm not happy, as you can see, and we've got a difficult shot here with the 56 degree to try and land it in close to the flag, which, to be honest, we do make a good attempt on that and leave ourselves with just about an 8-foot putt to make par. And yeah, there we go. Great pace, great roll, great read to make the par there on the 9th hole. So as you can see from the card, a little displeased with a few double bogeys on there and that triple. But to be 9 over going through 9, from a 21 handicapper's point of view, we're not doing too badly. And considering we've got 2 3 putts on the card, to only have 15 putts going through 9 holes is pretty decent, I have to say. So, hope you've enjoyed this video and do join me for the back 9 in a few days' time.